Movie friends, welcome back to fucking Dead Meat. Dead Meat. I've been really enjoying this guy's videos. Obviously, you guys have been joining me and watching James Janice's videos. It's really a lot of fun. I think they're fun. I mean, this Friday the 13th Part 3 will always hold a special place in my heart because when I was 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old, it was the first horror film I ever saw. My older sister snuck it on TV and we watched Friday the 13th Marathon, and Friday the 13th Part 3 was the only Friday the 13th film I saw before my parents came home and turned off the marathon. So I'm really curious to see what happens. I think the best kill in the entire film is it has to go to the crossbow death scene when the girl gets shot with the crossbow across the bridge. I thought that shit was phenomenal. And if it wasn't going to be that death, it would probably be oh god, what's his name? The guy who gets his head smashed. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. I'm not great with the survivor names, but anyways, those are my picks. If I had to pick my least favorite kill, I would probably go with Shelly, only because you don't get to see it, and it's just he just gets his throat slit. So it's probably one of the most boring deaths in the movie. But overall, let's go ahead and dive into this thing. I'm curious to hear what James thinks. So this is his older kill count, by the way, not his new one, his old one. So it's not the recount. So 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the Kill Count, where we tally up the victims in all our favorite horror movies. I'm James A. Janice, and today we continue the Friday the 13th series with a look at Part 3, released in 1982 in glorious 3D. At this point, Paramount knew they had a formula for making money, so they didn't change anything that made the first two films such hits.
Sex. You guys are getting boring.
Except now it's all in 3D, so the filmmakers felt obligated to add a lot of gratuitous 3D shots. Like, a lot of really unnecessary, totally egregious 3D shots. Also of note is that this is the film in which
snake was
Jason
horrible,
acquires his
man.
iconic
The string
hockey mask. So if you ever want to impress someone on a first date, you can drop the hot trivia knowledge that his mask was originally owned by a guy named Shelly.
Damn it, Shelly!
I knew that.
One interesting thing is that this takes place like the
Shelly's
day
hard to
after
forget.
Part 2, with the events of that movie being reported on the news. Turns out that after his final confrontation with Ginny, Jason just dusted himself off and dragged himself to safety. He uses his near brush with death to go back to school and really make something of himself. Just kidding, he uses it to kill people. How many?
Wouldn't that be an
Let's
interesting
find out.
twist? Goes to school.
Jason's first victims are a feuding couple who own an adorable little bunny rabbit. Harold is apparently so miserable that he eats fish food and drinks liquor on the toilet, so maybe Jason does him a favor when he kills him with a meat cleaver to the chest. I just love these kills where the victim doesn't even try to put their hands up or anything. Way to take it on the chin, Harold. Or in the chest, rather. His wife Edna hears the
Probably
commotion
didn't see it
and wanders
coming.
outside to investigate, but we already know she's not the best detective in the world because she saw Jason in her backyard and mistook him for her husband. Maybe it's because Jason got rid of his luscious locks from Part 2. In any case, bald and beautiful, Jason quickly dispatches of Edna with a knitting needle through the back of her head. It even goes out through the front of her face and through his fingers, which I never noticed until recently. Harold and Edna serve as the traditional intro kills, and with them out of the way, we get to meet the teenagers who will pretend to care about for the next 80 minutes. Instead of camp counselors, these teens are just a group of friends heading up to lead girl Chrissy's family home, which has the unfortunate name of Higgins Haven. Among Chrissy's entourage is a Latina, a stoner couple, that weird Shelly dude, and this couple who really spices up the movie with this little piece of information.
No way, we're pregnant, remember?
Yeah, I don't know why they did that either. Maybe it's their attempt at diversity like Wheelchair-Bound Mark was in Part 2, because God forbid they have an actual black character. Oh,
yeah.
Wait, what's that?
I don't know why
Cool, it's a black character. There's actually two of them here, and they're thugs. Damn it. Well, at least that dude's having a good time. Look at that smile. Never mind. Oh yeah, Chrissy also has this super hunky love interest named Rick. I'd buy a farm just to hire
Rick's
that guy
death.
to work on it. Yeah, you move that hay. The trio of thugs are the first of Jason's victims after all the boring plot shit. First to go is Fox after she wanders into the Higgins barn about 40 minutes into the movie. Her compadre
I'd be pissed too if my bikes were hit.
Pitchfork in her neck. I love the camera moving down.
Yeah, it's a good shot.
Ground. It's a nice touch. Loco doesn't have much time to freak out since Jason comes out of nowhere and sticks a pitchfork through his gut and out the other side. Ouch. But at least Loco dies
good
keeping a
effects.
cigarette in, because smoking makes you look cool, kids, even with the pitchfork through your gut. Ali, the leader of the gang, goes and looks for his cronies, and after finding Loco's body, actually goes on the offensive against Jason, the first time that's happened in one of these movies. Unfortunately, he gets bitch slapped to the ground and punched a few times, but
I'm not gonna lie.
he survives and he'll be back later. Then for a while, the teenagers
I'm not gonna lie, if my
do
friends were
teenager
killed,
stuff.
I'd be
Sex is
pretty on a
had, dope is
kill
smoked.
mood too.
Shelly does gags in poor taste, one of which leads to Jason's iconic look. Also, Chrissy keeps talking about some past traumatic event where Jason found her in the woods, and, well, we're not entirely sure.
I blacked out. I don't know what happened after that. I just don't know.
But I'm glad they didn't go too much deeper into it.
Yeah.
Now we're into the movie, things finally get
Pretty
moving.
much stating
Jason
that he
acquires
raped
his
her.
mask and moseys on out
I
to the
don't know
dock
what to
where
say.
Vera sees him, thinking he's Shelly. How do people in this movie keep mistaking this gigantic mountain of a man-child for other people? She figures out that he's not Shelly just in time for him to shoot a harpoon straight into her eye. Sucks for Shelly, who was trying to get with her, but you know that shit wasn't gonna happen anyway. Jason then very lackadaisically heads back to the house.
Honestly,
His next pair of
James,
victims
I
is going to
actually
be the
kind of
couple, the dude of which Andy
fucking
is
fly.
also kind of like a Joker guy with Shelly. I don't know, lots of weird vaudeville acts going on in this movie. Good thing though, because it leads to one of the coolest deaths of the series when Jason
Yo, I forgot about this kill.
Andy's legs while he's in the middle of a handstand.
God
It's even cooler when they show his
damn.
body later. I don't know how or why Jason stuck his body up there on that ceiling beam, but damn, does that look gruesome.
Yeah, it
Andy's
does.
blood drips
Fucking
onto Deb
awesome.
as she reads a Fangoria article that name checks Tom Savini, whose work is promptly stolen when Deb is killed in the exact same way Kevin Bacon was in the original. Which really begs the question.
Never noticed
was
that.
Kevin Bacon's character
Tom Savini
also
thing?
pregnant at the time he was brutally murdered? Science says no, but go ahead and decide for yourself. With Jason in full-on murder mode, the corpses just pile up. First, we see Shelly, who somehow survived an off-screen throat slit from back when Jason took his mask. He tries to
Yay.
get Chili to help him, but since he cried wolf earlier, she doesn't believe him and he dies on her doorstep. I guess she just thought he was really committed to the bit. She still thinks it's just a prank, bro, while her hippie
His death
boyfriend
kinda
Chuck
sucked.
looks for the generator so he can pop some more 3D
There's
pop.
no way those
Instead, he runs
hippies were
into Jason,
teens,
who
you know?
grabs him and throws him into a circuit box, causing an immediate electric explosion because that's what happens in Friday the 13th movies. We're gonna see a lot more immediate electric explosions going forward in this series, so just stay tuned. Chili finally realizes that Shelly is for real's dead and then delivers the worst stretch of acting out of the entire series. Why are you running like that? I can't believe that it's so bad. It's so bad, guys. It's so bad. Jason finally sticks
But
her in the
it's
gut with a hot
memorable.
fire poker, putting us
So don't
all
be
out
too
of our
harsh. Don't be
misery
too harsh.
and
It's
pushing the kill
memorable.
count into double digits. Chrissy and Rick return from the woods
I
and
quote
realize
that scene all the
something's wrong
time.
when they find an empty pot burning on the stove. Classic stoner move. They separate, real smart there, guys, and it leads to what is hands down my favorite kill of the movie. In fact, I'm gonna give it both coolest and lamest kill at the end of this because it exists in between planes of quality. Jason kills boy toy Rick by squeezing his head. He squeezes his head to death, and look at it. Look at that fake head. How did audiences react to this in 1982? Were they not familiar with real heads? Did they mistake paper mache heads for real people? I don't know the answer to these questions, but I do know that Tom Savini had nothing to do with that visual effect. With all her friends dead, Chrissy is free to do
I didn't
what
mind it
final
too
girls
much.
do. It's pretty standard this time through, no fun psychology games like in part 2. Instead, she does the usual final girl victory tour of the people she's outlived, including a guy she's never seen before in her life, so whatever, you know? She fights back a couple of times, stabbing Jason in the leg, hitting him in the head with
Fuck,
some
that
wood
hurts,
and
man.
dropping some heavy knowledge on him. Like literally, you know, books. She even hangs him from the barn, which appears to work for a second before Jason pops back up to show her his face? What? Why put the mask back on? Whatever. Overall, nothing too special. Except, wait, oh shit, Ali's back, and there goes his hand. I don't know why they brought him back for literally less than 10 seconds of screen time.
Give
but
her
it
that
was a fun little
quick
surprise, I
glimpse
guess.
of a moment.
While Jason's busy chopping up Ali, like
shove an axe in
really
his
just
head.
going to town on him, Chrissy grabs an axe because she's strong like that, and drives it into his head, giving his mask its iconic slash and causing him to zombie walk at her for a few paces before falling to the ground in defeat. Chrissy escapes onto a boat because even though it's only 3 movies deep, this series doesn't know how to write anything new. She wakes up and sees Jason still alive in what is seriously
Yeah, I wouldn't be
image
getting in a boat. I'd be
peeking out
running.
the window of the barn. He even comes out of the barn and runs at her without his mask. I forgot how much time Jason spends full-on face out in this movie. But before you know it, he disappears, apparently a hallucination of Chrissy's. And then waterlogged zombie Mrs. Voorhees pops out of the lake and pulls Chrissy out of her boat, again directly ripping off the original, because I can't stress enough how repetitive these goddamn movies are. One more case in point, it all ends up being a dream. Damn, were these producers bereft of ideas. The law enforcement leaves Jason's body
agree.
lying on the floor of the barn like any good police, and then boom, the movie's over. Let's go to the numbers.
Okay. Okay, James.
Jason kills 12 people in Friday the 13th Part 3. 7 guys and 5 girls. That's 2 more people than in Part 1, meaning this movie has the highest kill count of the series so far. At a runtime of 95 minutes, that's a kill less than every 8 minutes, which is also a bit more frequent than Parts 1 and 2. I already told you that both of my awards are going to Rick, and that wasn't hyperbole. Like, look at that thing. It's
He
both
literally
awesome
gave them
and
both to
awful
Rick?
at the same time.
Okay, but if I had to
It
give
has
them to-
some
I would
awe
probably
and is
give-
simultaneously filled with it. But that's it. Friday the 13th Part 3 was released
I think it was
in
awesome, to be
1982
honest, but,
using brand new 3D technology.
let him finish.
Like, literally, it was the first movie filmed using that tech. Kind of cool. Next week, we'll be looking at Friday the 13th, the final chapter, which, I don't know if you know this, isn't the final chapter. Until then, I'm James A. Janice.
No, again.
Spin the kill count. Hey guys, thanks a lot for
Okay,
watching.
so I'm gonna pause this. Okay, yes, I tend to agree with him on I think the Rick kill is absolutely, definitely worthy of the best kill. I would give the worst kill to probably Shelly, because it was just a throat slit, and that wasn't really much, and you don't even get to see it happen, so that's probably why I'd give it to the worst. So that would be my worst, and my best would actually be the crossbow death. I thought was actually quite awesome, and it does utilize the 3D perfectly, in my opinion. So like that, I just think it's the best kill in the movie, but that's just my opinion. Really enjoyed that, actually. Yeah, he hated on this movie quite a bit. I noticed how much he was shitting on this movie, and it was like, yeah, actually, because it's an easy movie to shit on. Friday the 13th Part 3, which is easily, and I will acknowledge this, it's one of my favorites because it's the nostalgia holds deep for me with that movie, but I will acknowledge that it has a lot of weirdness, a lot of why, question marks, what was that about, why did they decide to do this kind of thing, like why was the girl pregnant, why did they try to do this backstory about like rapey Jason, I don't know. It's creepy, I'll give it that, it's creepy, but who knows, guys? Comment down below, let me know your thoughts. What was your favorite and least favorite kill in the movie? I'm curious to hear your opinions. If you like this type of content, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and share. We post as often as we can. We keep it retro while we do it. And Friday the 13th, the final chapter will be next, old-wise. And then after I do the whole Friday the 13th franchise, I'll do the recounts. So until next time, movie friends, it's fall.